Recently, we were on Celebrity Reflection, and today we are here to give you a ship tour, and we'll be working as usual from the top deck to the bottom.
This was our first cruise on Celebrity, so we're excited to get started.
Hi, I'm Crystal.
And I'm Marshall.
And welcome back to the channel. If you're new here or you just haven't subscribed yet, please do. It really does help the channel.
So starting at the top means deck 16, and this is the Solstice Deck, the deck where you can just lay out.
Which we did do.
We did. They have a nice variety of comfy chairs, loungers, all sorts of different things to choose from.
And umbrellas.
I know.
That was nice.
It was definitely nice, and I thought there was, as you said, a nice balance between the umbrellas when they're open for shade, and also, depending on the side, they had these overhangs on these day beds. Very nice.
Yeah.
On deck 15 forward, you have the kids area. One side is for younger kids, and this is the teenage side. And out we go. On deck 15, going forward first. I thought the ship was in really incredible condition. Very clean, very well taken care of, and you can see just how the paint is bright and everything is really, really nicely put together.
Here's a netted, fenced-in area for the basketball hoop. Basketball court.
Which we took a few shots here and there. We did well.
We did very well. I was surprised.
Yes.
I mean, for old people.
Speak for yourself. I'm 60 years young. So we're coming around the side, and I always call this the sun deck. This is one deck up from the pool, and you'll see that in a moment. We're getting to the more center pool area. There's a pool bar on the right. There you go. I like the mix again of the shade. That actually was in the shade most of the time, and then bam, sunshine and pools.
They do still have these little overhang areas on the side too still, which I like. It can be a little congested in here, as you can see.
Yeah, every ship is different. This was unique for me, having like the chairs on the left-hand side here facing each other as opposed to all facing out, but it did give you more chairs to choose from.
True.
So Celebrity Reflection, I think, really excels at some different things and different features. And as we're heading back on this deck, you're going to begin to see some of them. And I think the first one we're going to hang a right to is called the Porch.
Yes, it's a specialty restaurant, so it's an upcharge. But I really wanted to eat here. We sort of ran out of time, but it seemed like a really nice place, and I liked the menu.
You like the menu because there's a lobster roll.
Lobster roll, yeah.
Now we're getting back to an area that actually has real grass, and this is called the Lawn Club Grill. And it's another place to eat, which I believe is an upcharge, but it's terrific looking out over a real lawn and then the ocean, as you can see.
And then there are these cabanas, seating areas, again, overlooking toward the lawn. And those cabanas, you paid to use those. So we didn't use them, but we did walk on the grass.
Yes, the lawn is free. These folks are just out there playing bocce, I think, with some of the officers, or at least, yeah, some of the officers. And I even did a yoga stretching session one morning out on the lawn. It was so unique to be on real grass while cruising.
Yeah, it is unique. And there was a putting green also, which we also did use.
Yes. And there's someone else practicing their putts. I mean, truth be told, it's not the grass you'd find on greens, but it's so novel and so fun just to be hitting on this type of short grass.
And then we have the sunset bar, which had pretty comfortable seating, but again, it did tend to fill up pretty quickly, so we didn't really frequent this place. But.
And maybe we're harping on the shade because it was actually a warm cruise. These days were hot out in the sun, so we were really looking for shade a lot.
We were in the Southern Caribbean, I think that's why.
Now, coming around the back of the ship, this is an area that is for smokers. So they have a little grass and they're close to the sunset bar also, but just make a note of it if you don't like to have the smoking affect you. It is also in the back side of this deck.
More cabanas on this side of that lawn.
Now there is, as you can see, some other places inside. This is the midship area on this deck. And there's a studio for for photos. And on this side is the inside entrance to the porch.
And there's the menu.
All right, we're back out and we'll finish the tour on this deck by going on the other side of the pool moving forward.
Yeah, so this was kind of a unique place for us. At least it was called the Mast Grill, and they had burgers and fries and hot dogs, and they also had a veggie burger on the regular menu. It wasn't a special request, so that was a nice change of pace. We also had cold drinks here that are, and all of that stuff at the Mast Grill is not an upcharge, it is included in your cruise fare.
Deck 14.
We're starting forward, the front of the ship.
Yes. And this is the Sky Lounge or Sky Bar. It's a novel area for me because I'm used to these being in the back of the ship with the view, and this is forward. And the windows really opened up this space.
Yeah, it was big, it was really comfortable, the seating was nice, the bar was nice. It was a really nice place to go. They also had, as you can see, a stage where different singers or performers could do what they do.
And I saw karaoke and some special events like the Captain's Club event, and you name it, they really use this space well.
It's a beautiful location.
So now we head out onto the pool deck, but first you come to the Adults-Only Solarium.
I thought the decor in here was quite nice.
Yeah, again, very open. And we got a little special treat for everyone, some night shots coming up, just to give you a sense of the vibe at night. And it was really very relaxing.
Leaving the solarium.
To the main pool area.
I will say, although we were in the adults only area, I think we only saw 4 children in 8 days.
Right, so in a way, this is also an adults-only area.
On this particular cruise, at least.
People were having fun, but I'll call this relaxed fun. And again, some shots of the pool deck at night, just to give you a good sense of how it looks both day and night.
I like how they have windows the full length from the floor to ceiling. Now to the Oceanview Café, which is the buffet that is not an upcharge, it is included in your cruise fare. So they have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then, of course, desserts.
But the one thing I'd like to say is, it can get crowded here, like most buffets, but it never got overly crowded. It was always easy to find some seating and to move around, and we have been on ships that have had the buffet areas really packed, and this never was the case.
Yep. Everything was well labeled. They have distinct sections for pasta, and then another section for pizza, and then another section for Mexican, another section for ice cream. It was very well labeled, and there were multiple stations for each one of these things too, so I think that helped disperse people better.
Okay, and I'm going to call out the ice cream. There were more than, you needed two hands to count all the different ice creams they had, including vegan, no sugar added, and then a bunch of regular ice creams that they would rotate every day.
And let's also throw in,
yes,
we learned they make the ice cream on board that ship, which is pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to just really get a sense of how the food quality was really kind of raised for a buffet, but hopefully the photos, the video will do it justice.
You could do your own charcuterie board.
You can. And then bring it anywhere in the ship. Be like, ta-da!
The dessert station.
Buy a pastry tray. The food just continues. There's so much at this buffet. It was truly amazing.
Now, what we did enjoy too is there's indoor seating and then there's outdoor seating as well at the Oceanview Café, and that was nice.
Yes.
There are also some umbrellas again. Very nice.
So as you can see, we're back on the pool deck, now moving forward again, but on the other side of the ship. And there's some interesting things that we need to point out. As we get there, do note, look at the nice lounge day beds and other loungers there. So here you can see that there is a pool bar on this deck. And as you take a look here, again, we're moving forward back into the solarium. There is the spa cafe.
Yeah, not a full buffet, but little bites.
And they do have smoothies, smaller size smoothies, but something that you can purchase. Deck 12, we did start midship because when we get to the front, we actually go down a deck. It's kind of interesting. So midship, you do have your Captain's Club and concierge staff that you can visit anytime. And when you do go forward, you have the fitness center and the spa.
On day one, we did get a tour of the spa, and I think we were kind of blown away at how nice it was and how big and open this gym is.
Right. The machines were not, there's plenty of aisle space. There was not a ton of room, but more room than usual between the machines. Mm-hmm. So it really just felt upscale, really, for a gym. I think what sold me on it being slightly more upscale than we're used to on the Reflection is the cold iced towels. Something small, but I was like, wow, that'll feel good.
And you can actually get outside here from the gym,
mm-hmm.
which is actually where we were during sail away.
Yes. Now, I loved it, but do you see what's missing? Any place to sit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is for folks to stretch or to get out,
Probably.
If you're after a workout, but a few chairs there, would have been mint.
Did they ever have any classes out there?
Not that I saw.
Okay.
That would be a nice place to
Yeah.
have some stretching classes.
Yeah. Now over to the spa side. This is the desk where you would check in or schedule your services. And then the treatment rooms are back here. So first is the salon with the hair and nails. And then on to, well, then they also have
The
the
barber.
special section for men. The Persian garden is a special place that is very, I would say, sensory specific. There is a cold room. There is a very cold room.
Yeah.
Like it is like frozen. And then there's a sauna.
Mm-hmm.
There's a steam room, which is different than the sauna. And then they have the hot beds to lie on.
And let's not forget the aroma room.
Yes, that's right. The aroma room. So that we got a sense of it when we did the spa tour. And then we also had one free day of use, but then they also sell a package for that.
Yeah, usually it's for the length of the cruise, and it's a certain price, and then you have access, if not 24/7, whenever the spa's open, it's there for you. And then all the massage rooms and other treatment rooms are on what would be deck 11, but it really, you get through it to deck 12. And they're on either side right now.
Several.
Yes, they had a lot of treatment rooms. So this relaxation room with the day beds is for the Aqua class, and they have access to the Persian garden and this room as part of that class that you would buy. It's just one level or two levels up from the typical balcony staterooms, and it gives you all these additional features.
So maybe we should be part of the aqua class next time.
I say let's do it. So this is the top of the library on deck 11, and we'll get to the main floor of the library right here.
On deck 10. This was a nice spot. I wish it was kind of separate from the rest of the ship and that you could hear the noise from the centrum floor below. But
really well done, well decorated, and I do like having space on every deck. So we go to deck 9.
yeah, so this is a game room, card room, and frequently there were people playing in there.
Well used, and it did have that game vibe. Deck 8, Midship, is the top of the
Hideaway.
with these unique pods. So you ask what the Hideaway is, which most of it's deck 7. It's just a kind of a place to hang.
With a lot of electrical outlets. Yeah, it was nice. This was one of my favorites. And they actually did have a coffee and tea station here, which was free to use.
Kind of nice vibe of
Yeah.
with the Hideaway. Okay, deck 6 again, midship, just moving down, kind of stacking as we're going, stacking down, is the computer lounge, the Celebrity Eye Lounge, featuring Apple products.
I like Apple products.
I have nothing against them.
Now to deck 5.
A full public deck with the balcony of the theater up front. And here's just your first look at it. Really a gorgeous theater. And out we go, moving back. Now this is one of their foyer areas, and they would have some events down below, and then this would also circle around so people could look in on a game show or some event that they were doing. And up here you can see that this is a photo area.
There was also some art earlier. And then there are some shops. as you go down the row here.
Yeah, the stores were pretty high-end, upscale stores, most of them. And you can get a sense of just the openness of this deck. And here is called the world-class bar. And they serve not world-class, but high-level drinks there.
It always seemed to be pretty busy. Now, one of our favorite parts of the ship, the Cafe El Bacchio, I think that's how you say it. They always had sweet treats in this glass case and cookie jars on top. They rotated that 2 or 3 times a day. In addition, they also have a very nice seating area. And a surprise for us was that they actually do table service here at this little coffee shop. So that was quite nice.
Yes, it was excellent. And I think we were there twice a day. We really took advantage of it. And as part of it, they also have a gelato station, which you can see right there with, again, it looks like a dozen flavors. And I did grab some mint gelato one day.
So everyone, I believe, gets a free scoop of gelato, and after that, it's an upcharge.
Yes, I think you may need to be part of their Captain's Club. Okay, now moving further back, you have some more bars and restaurants. And I think this is the ensemble bar. It's what they designate this. And to me, you can think of it as the piano bar sort of vibe. Cue the piano on the right.
Again, comfortable seating.
With the views out on the left as we were walking.
And then you come into sort of the specialty restaurant area, we'll call it. You have Cuisine here on the left, which they do Le Petit Chef.
Yes, a projection show on your tabletop, which they intertwine with your meals, your courses, and it was wonderful.
And then we have Blue.
Yeah, not to harp on the Aqua Class, but Aqua Class gets this restaurant included in their fare.
Yeah, so we couldn't go in there, but we will next time.
Very nice.
It does look nice. And then another specialty restaurant is the Tuscany Grill, and that's where we're entering now. Beautiful. The views look great too.
Yes, so this specialty restaurant wins with the views because you are looking out back, at your wake if we are moving, and it's that bank of windows just says it all.
This is an Italian restaurant.
As we're passing the Ensemble Lounge again, over on the left-hand side, we're taking a peek at Michael's Club, and that is a members only, as it says on the door. It's really just for suite and what they call the retreat guests get this special area. All right, we're back out to what they call the grand foyer area, or the overlook of that. And the last stop on this deck is Sushi on 5.
This is a specialty restaurant also.
So obviously sushi, Japanese fare, Asian fare, all done there. Deck 4.
Back to the theater, the main floor of the theater.
And here's a nice panorama of the inside.
Yeah, it was unique because the chairs were curved, all the rows were curved around the stage. So it was neat.
Yes. It gives you a sense of that roundness looking up. Okay, exiting.
We have the conference center on the right. We just popped in to show you what it looks like.
And then crossing over, you'll see this place called Celebrity Central. And it's a mini stage, a mini theater.
Yeah. I don't know, they must have talks in here and things like that. There is a little stage.
I think the comedian was there one night, along with a game show or two in addition to the talks.
It's another place to have events, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
They also did little games here in this area. And then there's also a bar here. Into the Future Cruise Office.
Which is fairly upscale. I mean, that's the name of Celebrity Reflection. It felt upscale. And well-staffed.
Very well staffed. So you could book your next cruise right there at Future Cruises.
And celebrate by going into the casino,
Yeah.
which was just across the way.
This was nice. It's a smoke-free casino, and they have table games and slot machines, and also a casino bar. That sums it up.
Well, I have to say, it kind of reminds me of what we were talking about, like with the buffet. There's plenty of room, more room than we're used to walk or to sit down, and it just was actually spacious for a casino, which I don't know if I've ever said that on any other cruise ship.
It's nice having it smoke-free too.
And if you're a slot player, these are all the latest full-screen games. There are not even any games that are slightly 10 years old. These are all the newest versions of these games. Here's the bar that you mentioned.
Mm-hmm. More shops. Yeah, I like that the shops are on 5 and 4 too, so that's nice.
Yeah, it breaks it up.
Mm-hmm.
Now to the martini bar. The most unusual bar I've seen in a while.
Yes. First of all, the seating is on point. You have these special little seating areas, a little, special seating, and then look at this bar.
It's ice cold.
So cool.
It was very cool.
Cool.
Well, after you had your fill of cool drinks, you could head back to the dining room, at least on this deck 4. It's called the Opus dining room. And as you look at the decor, I'm just going to call out, those were the most comfortable chairs that I've sat in a dining room in a very long time. I just sunk right in. It was wonderful.
Yeah, they curved around your back.
Yes.
There's our table. We're the little 2-person table there.
And you get a sense of the 2-deck dining room there. And then we head back out on the other side of where the martini bar is the Cellar Master bar.
This is a wine room.
Having lived in Maine for many years, I keep wanting to say cabin masters for those folks who build cabins, but I know it's the Cellar Masters.
Cellar Master.
And again, great little vignette places to sit.
Deck 3 has the guest services desk.
Mm-hmm.
More seating.
Yes. And this is the bottom floor of what they call the grand foyer, and there'll be musical acts and other things happening there, and you can kind of look up and see the full centrum feel all the way to the top of the ship.
And this is what's open to those places we talked about. The library, the hideaway, the game room is open to this area.
This is Opus dining room on deck 3.
So we have a little something special to show you on this one.
Yes. If it's what I'm thinking, I didn't even know it was there until we were walking around together filming this.
Pretty staircase.
I would call the decor kind of modern compared to like the classic cruise ship. It was nice change.
I like that they still have the white tablecloths.
Yes.
And then here's the little special place. Look at all this wine.
Yeah, and it's not for show. If you ordered wine, they would go and get it from there.
There was a special wine person who came to our table every night that asked us what we wanted to drink.
Now, also for dining experience, we talked about the retreat having the separate lounge for them, the suite area. This is their special dining room for the suites at the retreat class. So we wanted
Zenith too, right? Or not?
I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe for the Zenith, the highest loyalty level.
just curious. Then we have the shore excursion desk. Another bar.
Why not throw another bar if there's a little bit of room? Very happy bartender. And then forward of this area in the grand foyer is rooms. So this really finishes the tour from top to bottom of Celebrity Reflection.
Overall, very nice ship.
Yes, I personally wound up getting more used to the vibe as we went on our 8-day itinerary, and I was really liking it by day 8.
Yes,
It was hard. It was hard to leave.
Let us know if you have any questions for us about Celebrity Reflection and anything in general related to cruising, and we'll do our best to answer your question. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.
Take care.